Two prominent Fijian rugby coaches have expressed their deep concerns and frustrations over the Fiji Rakavi Football Union, FIU, continued preference for overseas coaches in leading national teams. Sailosi Naiteqe Senior and Tomasi Cama Senior, both highly respected in Fijian rugby scene, have called on the FIU to provide clarity on why local coaches are being overlooked despite their qualifications and experience. The controversy arose following FIU's recent announcement of the appointment of New Zealander Richard Walker as the head coach of the Fijiana Sevens team and Welshman Johan Cunningham as a head coach of the Fijiana 15 team. The move has reignited the long-standing debate over whether FIU is genuinely committed to the development of local coaching talent, or if it is merely paying lip service to the idea. Local coaches expressed disappointment. Naiteqe and Cama have not minced their words in criticizing the FIU's decisions. The two believe that local coaches have proven their abilities over the years and deserve the opportunity to take charge of the national teams. Naiteqe, who has been instrumental in developing Fijian rugby talent, expressed his frustration at the lack of opportunity for homegrown coaches. This is unacceptable. I wonder what the FIU is thinking because they continue to deny the local coaches and keep bringing in overseas coaches, he said. What is happening here? He asked, reflecting the sentiment of many within the local rugby fraternity. Cama, a former national representative and coach of the Fiji Sevens team, echoed similar sentiments. They said for all coaches to get their coaching accreditation done, and our coaches joined in and started working so that they can get the accreditation. They worked hard to get coaching roles and build on their experiences. Some of them have done so well and are beginning to show themselves on the international scene. But they then get sidelined, and the FIU brings in overseas coaches who come in and do what they want and leave us, sometimes to start from scratch again. Call for local coaches to lead national teams. Both Naiteqe and Cama have advocated for the appointment of local coaching talent, specifically mentioning Tomasi Volovola and Ifirimi Rawaka as strong candidates to lead the Fijiana Sevens and Fijiana 15 teams, respectively. Volovola, who was an assistant coach under Sailosi, has been serving as the interim coach for the Fijiana Sevens team since late last year. Under his guidance, the team has made notable progress, rising from 11th to 8th position in the World 7 Series standings after just 4 tournaments. This significant improvement underlines Volovola's coaching abilities and the impact he has had on the team. Meanwhile, Rawaka, who currently coaches the Fijiana Drua, has made a strong start to the 2025 Super W season, leading his team to a convincing victory over the Waratahs. His impressive track record further strengthens the case for local coaches being given opportunities at the national level. Naiteqe also pointed out that FIU had previously sidelined experienced coaches like Senirusi, Saravakula, and Fuli, moving them to the Fiji under-20s team instead of utilizing their expertise at the senior level. The under-20s team is where you try out coaches who come through provincial level and want to see them and test them. But the FIU did not consider Saravakula, who has the most winning record for the Drua and Warriors, and along with Fuli, who both have had international coaching experiences, and moved them to the under-20s. Lack of transparency in FIU's decision-making. One of the key concerns raised by Cama is the lack of transparency regarding who is making these coaching decisions. He questioned whether the decisions were being influenced by World Rugby or external forces rather than being driven by FIU's leadership. That is the way it looks now to us, local coaches. It seems the FIU is just rubber stamping things, he said. FIU's justification for the appointments. Despite the backlash, FIU has defended its decision to bring in Walker and Cunningham. In an official statement, FIU Chief Executive Rovereto Naiteqe expressed confidence in the new appointments. We are excited to welcome Johan to the Fiji Rugby Vuvel. His expertise and experience at the international level make him the ideal leader as we prepare for the Rugby World Cup, Naiteqe said. Cunningham, who previously coached the Wales women's team, resigned from his post late last year after securing only 4 wins in 11 test matches. He is now set to lead Fijian in their campaign at the Women's Rugby World Cup, which is scheduled to take place in England from August 22nd to September 27th. Fiji is in Pool B, alongside Canada, Scotland, and Wales. Similarly, FIU highlighted Walker's vast experience in women's rugby. Walker has coached various teams, including USA Rugby Women's Sevens, Japan Women's Sevens, and Auckland Storm. He also has Olympic and World Cup experience, having coached the USA Women's Sevens team at the Rio Olympic Games and the Sevens World Cup in San Francisco. Important note, this has absolutely nothing to do with Coach Richard Walker. If anyone else from anywhere else had been appointed in Fijiana Sevens head coach Jim Volavola's place, we would have the same response, Happy Smiley. While a famous saying advises, the grass is always green on the other side of the fence, any farmer in Fiji can confirm that this is simply wrong, and the grass is actually greenest wherever you water it. Before even considering looking elsewhere, doesn't it just make sense to take proper inventory of the blessings you already have? Anyone who had taken the time to do so would have realized that the best man for the job was already doing it. Let's take a closer look at the man used to transform the Fijiana Sevens into a team worth adding to any coach's resume. So, who is Jim Volavola? Let's just look at the times has already made history for Fiji. White-headed checkmark under the great Sailosi. He was part of the first Fiji Sevens team to ever win a SVNS Series title in 2006. White-headed checkmark in 2020. He assisted legendary Fijiana Sevens head coach Sailosi as they brought home the first ever Olympic medal won by any Fijian women's team, securing bronze in the Tokyo Olympics. White-headed checkmark in 2021. Volavola, assisted by current Fijiana Drua assistant coach Junasilasila Vuluma Junior Nasilasila, led the team to their SVNS Series Finals debut for the first time in the Dubai Sevens. Then, after being handed the Fijiana Sevens team to lead to glory from a low point this season, having applied for the vacant head coaching position some month ago but appointed interim head coach instead. Fijiana Sevens understandably lost their first tournament to a public uproar, but champions are forged through adversary. So, Volavola absorbed all the negativity and criticism, retained his focus on the job at hand, and created history yet again. How? White-headed checkmark assisted by Mosi Mulevro Emosi, who himself was a key member of the squad teams that won 2 World SVNS Series titles and Fiji's first gold medal at the 2016 Rio Olympics, in just 3 tournaments. Volavola transformed the Fijiana Sevens into a team that every Fijian can be proud of by taking them to their second SVNS Series finals appearance in history at the recent Vancouver Sevens, right before having his title snatched away and handed off to a coach who has previously helped Fiji make history exactly 0 times. What's next for Fijian rugby? The ongoing debate raises important questions about the future of Fijian rugby coaching. While the FRU insists that the appointments were made based on expertise and experience, critics argue that there needs to be a structured pathway for local coaches to progress into national roles. If local talent is consistently overlooked, the long-term development of Fijian rugby may be at risk. With the national team preparing for crucial tournaments, the focus will remain on how the newly appointed coaches perform. However, the broader discussion on local coaching development is far from over. The rugby community in Fiji will be watching closely to see if FRU makes any future move to address the concerns raised by Naiteqe, Cama, and other local stakeholders. For now, the call remains loud and clear. Fijian rugby must find a way to nurture and promote its homegrown coaching talent to ensure the sport's sustainable growth in the country.
Ha!